fanaticism and ignorance.
They defined you.
What is the nature of human action?
Woo! Okay, you are going to die, and soon. Look, don't worry, this ain't gonna be too morbid. I said that to philosophize is to learn how to die. What does that mean? We don't know much about our death. Socrates once said that a virtuous attitude towards death is to accept our ignorance of it. So it makes sense when we observe how scared everyone is of it. To think about what it's like to be dead is something which we all try and do, but it's essentially an incoherent idea. Why? Because it's kind of like asking the question, what is it like to not be like? Doesn't really make sense. This is why we're all so scared of death, because we can't recall what it's like to not be able to experience anything. Pretty much everything that we are scared of is an indirect nod of acknowledgement to our own death. We don't like certain animals, snakes and spiders, because they might poison you. We don't like the dark because we don't know what's in it. And kind of like fear, evolution has developed this sense of disgust in us, which keeps us away from disease and poor hygiene. We've also got this fight or flight reflex in adrenaline, which kind of keeps us out of danger, but some people have learned to utilize that by bungee jumping or climbing to the top of a building without any support. I mean, f that, but I get it. People who are afraid of heights like me still get this thrill, but we do it vicariously through watching stressful films and that sort of thing. Something that seems counterintuitive to this are phobias. Why would someone develop a sense of fear towards squares or pockets or the number 12? Well, this is pretty simple to answer when you realise that phobias are actually an irrational fear, a kind of discrepancy of the human mind, which plays on our fear of death. There's a key difference here, which I feel I should point out. That is the difference between knowing as a fact and realising. Nobody thinks that they're going to live forever, but it's only on the odd occasion that we actually realise that death is coming, and soon. One of your family members dies, or a close friend, or you see something quite traumatising close up. These profound moments where we're suddenly thinking constantly about death are what I would call realising your own death. These are the events that make us think about death and change our perspective on life. We have continual reminders of our own mortality, birthdays, anniversaries, which make us think about death because they signal a passing of time and remind us that we are actually going to die pretty soon. Ugh. Don't you find it weird that we wait until we know we're imminently dying to express what we wish we would have done instead of knowing what we want to do and just doing it? The phrase deathbed is one that people just use to mean when I know I'm going to die. Well, you know you're going to die, so perhaps you should just do those things anyway. The key difference The key difference, again, is between knowing you'll die and realising you'll die. So, knowing that your life is finite and measuring it. Heidegger once said, "Freedom consists in the affirmation of the necessity of one's mortality. It is only in being towards death that one can become the person who one truly is." This is in relation to his masterpiece, Being and Time. He placed a real emphasis on death as the influence on most of our thoughts, even though we spend 99% of our time repressing them thoughts. We're working under the surreptitious illusion that we're sort of gonna live forever, part of our denial of our necessary demise. I would suggest that we treasure these profound moments, the realization that we have, because these are the moments when we do actually do what we always wanted to do. And if there's one thing you won't regret when you're dying, it will be doing those things which you wanted to do whilst you could. Please subscribe to Philosophy on Ice, because this is quite fun, isn't it, really? It's all a big laugh, I think. Next one won't be as morbid, I promise.